Mark Pearson. If you're building a startup in the UK, you know the name. He's the man behind Fuel Ventures, one of the most active early-stage investors in the country. He's backed hundreds of ambitious founders, deployed over 200 million into startups, and helped shape the next generation of UK tech giants. So we thought, what if we could sit down with Mark and ask the real questions? The kind every founder wishes they could ask. Not the fluff, not the pitch deck polish, but the raw, unfiltered truths about raising capital, scaling fast, and surviving the chaos of building something from scratch. Well, this conversation, it never actually happened, but we imagined it anyway, and brought it to life. Welcome to Face to Face, the first interview series that doesn't need to be real to feel real. Hey Mark, welcome to our imaginary face-to-face interview. Really appreciate you taking the time, even if you didn't, to help out our founders and give them a front row seat to your thinking. Let's jump right in.
Thanks for having me, Aaron. Even if this is a face-to-face interview that never really happened, I think it's a clever way to have these conversations. Excited to dive in.
So let's kick this off with the obvious one, AI. It's everywhere right now. Pitch decks are packed with it. Every founder is building a co-pilot, and half of Twitter is just threads about prompt engineering. But here's what I want to know. Do you think most of these AI startups will actually survive the next 12 to 18 months? Are we in a genuine breakthrough moment? Or is this just another bubble that's growing too fast? And when you look at all the noise, what makes an AI founder stand out to you? What signals make you think, okay, this one's building something real versus just chasing the hype? And just to go one layer deeper, let's say someone sends you a pitch deck. It says, we're an AI startup. What are you actually looking for at that point? How do you start breaking it down? What tells you this might be a real business? And what makes you instantly think, nah, this won't last?
Yeah, first off, thanks for having me. Appreciate the invite, even if this is technically the most virtual interview I've ever done. And thanks to everyone tuning in. Always happy to share what I've seen on the ground. So, AI. Look, it's hard to ignore. It's moving fast, it's exciting, and it's attracting a ton of talent. But if I'm being honest, most of what I see in the AI pitch world right now is noise. Founders are slapping AI on top of a thin product and hoping it'll raise around, and sometimes it does. But that doesn't mean it'll survive. The first thing I look at is this AI being used because it's the best solution or because it's trendy? Second, is there a moat? If your product's just a wrapper on OpenAI and there's no proprietary data or no unique workflow, that's a hard pass because there's no defensibility and no staying power. The AI startups I do get excited about are solving painful, boring problems. They're not trying to disrupt everything. They're just embedding AI into real workflows where it makes a huge difference. They've either got proprietary data, deep domain knowledge, a strong technical founding team, or ideally all three. So yeah, I'm bullish on AI long term, but 90% of the decks I see, they're not building businesses, they're chasing attention.
Okay, I hear you. But let me push back on that for a second. You said most AI startups aren't building real businesses, they're chasing hype. But honestly, isn't that a bit dismissive? Because if you look at what's happening right now, you've got companies like Perplexity challenging Google. Lovable is building productized content at insane speed. Mistral's shipping models faster than OpenAI can respond. And most of these teams? A year ago, people were calling them wrappers. So, how do you know? Where's the line between a just a feature and something that's going to explode into the next category-defining business? Aren't some of these early-stage AI plays proving that you can start small and still build something huge?
Yeah, fair point. I'll admit, some of those companies you mentioned, Perplexity, Mistral, Lovable, they started lean and they moved fast. And yes, people did call them wrappers or toys early on. But here's the difference. They weren't just riding the hype, they were shipping through it. Every week, a new release. Every month, deeper product adoption, and behind the scenes, teams with serious technical depth, people who've built before or could have been working at Google or DeepMind, but chose to go rogue. So yeah, small can scale, but most decks I see, they're AI startups with no IP, no speed, and no edge. Just vibes and a Notion page. That's the difference. It's not about starting big. It's about showing you're serious about velocity. If you're not shipping fast, testing constantly, and learning faster than the competition, you're done. Simple as that. And honestly, more than the product, I'm looking at the founders, how they think, how they talk about the problem, how obsessed they are. Because great AI teams, they don't pitch me on features, they pitch me on first principle insights. That's what cuts through. That's what I fund.
All right, so let's talk about something that really matters. The founders. You said earlier that product is one thing, but the people behind it, that's where the real bet is. So I want to dig in. What are you actually looking for in a founder? Is it the classic pattern, someone who's already built and exited, maybe a Stanford or Harvard badge, a YC stamp, or is it something less obvious, like obsession, clarity of thought, or just pure resilience? And let's be honest, what about the ones who failed before? Would you still back a founder who's crashed a startup, maybe even more than once, but keeps coming back stronger? Because I think a lot of early stage founders watching this are wondering, if I failed before, am I out of the game? What tells you someone is worth betting on, even if the pitch is rough or the market's not fully clear yet? Is it instinct? Is it pattern recognition? Or something else entirely?
Yeah, I've backed all kinds of founders, Stanford grads, self-taught hackers, people who've built and sold companies, people who've crashed and burned more than once. But here's the truth. I don't care about the resume. Not really. I care about how you think, how you see the world, and how deep your understanding is of the problem you're trying to solve. If you come in quoting market size and TAM from slide 3, I'm already tuning out. But if you come in obsessed, and I mean truly obsessed, with the user, the workflow, the inefficiency you've lived or seen up close, now I'm listening. Because that kind of founder, they don't give up after one failed launch. They keep digging. They adapt. They learn faster than everyone around them. I'd much rather back someone who's failed before, but owns it, learned from it, and came back sharper, than someone who's had one lucky win and thinks they've cracked the code. And yeah, polish matters, but clarity matters more. If you can explain your business in 2 sentences without buzzwords, I'm in. So no, I don't need Ivy League degrees or perfect pitch decks. I need conviction, clarity, and raw execution energy. That's who we back every time.
Okay, that's gold. But let's stay on this for a second, because I know founders watching are thinking, cool, but what if I'm not there yet? What if I don't have traction? What if I've got a clear idea, maybe even a prototype, but no revenue, no users, just the vision? How do I pitch that to someone like you? What actually gets your attention when there's not much on the scoreboard yet? And on the flip side, what are the instant red flags? Like, what kills a deal before it even gets going? Bad team dynamics, fake urgency, overconfidence. If someone's about to raise their first round, what do you wish they understood before walking into that first investor meeting?
Yeah, great question. And honestly, I want to hear from people who aren't there yet. That's the point of early stage investing. We're not just betting on the scoreboard. We're betting on your thinking. So if you don't have traction yet, that's fine. But what I need is proof that you're not just guessing, that you've talked to users, that you've stress tested your assumptions, that you know why now and why you. You'd be shocked how many people show up with an idea but haven't spoken to a single customer. That's a red flag. Another one, founders who talk like they've already won. Overconfidence with zero data is an instant turnoff. It tells me you're not coachable and you're not listening. The other killer, bad co-founder dynamics. I've passed on deals where the idea was great, but you could feel the tension between the team. If the team's not aligned, nothing else matters. So look, if you're early, that's okay. But come in with insight. Come in with curiosity. Show me that you're not just building something. You're becoming someone who can build anything. That's the founder I want to back.
All right, so let's zoom out a bit. We've talked about what you look for in founders, but I think a lot of people don't actually know how deals get sourced in the first place. So let me ask, do you only invest in the companies that pitch you, or does your team go out and scout founders directly? Do you ever co-invest with other VCs or angels, or get invited into rounds that are already forming? And when you're leading a round, do you help the startup fill the rest of the raise by tapping into your own investor network? Because I think a lot of early founders watching this might not realize the fundraising game isn't just about pitching. Sometimes it's about who's behind you. So what does that ecosystem actually look like from your side?
Yeah, This is the part most founders never get to see. Everyone thinks VCs just sit there waiting for cold emails to land in the inbox. But the reality, the best deals rarely come in cold. A lot of the time, it's network-based. Founders we've backed refer other founders. Angels we trust give us a nudge and say, you need to talk to this team. Or sometimes we spot someone building something interesting and we reach out directly. At Fuel, we're pretty active. If we see a space heating up, like AI infra, fintech infra, vertical SaaS, we're not just waiting, we're looking, we're DMing, we're setting up quiet chats before a round even opens. And we co-invest all the time. If another VC we respect is leading a round and invites us in, we'll look at the deal fast, because in early stage, who's on the cap table really matters. Now, if we lead the round, that's when we move. We don't just write a check and disappear. We'll introduce you to top-up investors, angels, operators, follow-on funds. We've got the network to help you fill that round fast and smart. Founders often think fundraising is this solo mountain to climb, but once you've got a strong lead, the rest can and should move quickly. So sometimes it's about the pitch, but a lot of the time it's about the web around the pitch.
All right, now I want to ask you this directly. Do you typically lead rounds or co-invest with others? And how early do you really go? Like, does a startup need revenue already to get on your radar? Or are you open to backing teams even when it's pre-launch, pre-revenue, just an idea and conviction? Because here's the thing, a lot of early founders wrestle with, should they start raising as soon as they have an idea? Or should they put their heads down, build something users love, maybe even get some early sales, and then talk to investors? What do you honestly think is the smartest use of a founder's time early on? And I'd love to hear what you did in your own founder journey before you became a VC. Did you raise early? Did you sell first? What worked for you?
Yeah, good question. We do both. Sometimes we lead rounds, especially if we have real conviction and want to go deep. Other times we co-invest with VCs or angels we trust, people who've built strong track records or bring domain expertise. As for how early we invest, we go early, like really early. Pre-revenue, pre-launch, even pre-product if the founder is exceptional. But here's the catch. You can be early, but you can't be vague. If you're pre-product, I still expect clarity. You should know exactly what you're building, who it's for, and why now is the moment to build it. And to your question, should founders raise first or build first? Honestly, build first. Every time. Spend 90 days obsessed with your user. Talk to them, ship something, break it, rebuild it, get a handful of people to love it, not just like it, love it. Because then when you pitch investors, it's not a story. It's not, we think people might use this Spark. It's, here's who's already using it, and here's what they begged us to add next. That's powerful. That's momentum. And look, I've been there. When I was building my own company, we didn't raise straight away. We sold. We proved there was a market. And that traction made every investor conversation 10x easier, because we weren't asking for belief. We were showing proof. So if you're a founder right now, I'd say sell first, prove demand, then raise. And if you can't sell what you're building, maybe you shouldn't raise for it yet.
All right, Mark, let's shift gears for a second and talk about something a lot of founders underestimate: sales. So many early stage founders, especially technical ones, think they can just focus on building the product and someone else will handle the selling. They either plan to hire a salesperson later or find a co-founder who'll do the business stuff. But here's my take. If you can't sell your own product, especially early on, who will? So what's your view on this? Do you think founders need to be good at sales, even if they're technical, or is it okay to stay heads down on product and let someone else figure that out? Have you ever passed on a deal because the founder clearly didn't know how to sell? And what advice would you give to a founder who says, I'm not a salesperson?
Yeah. This is where a lot of really smart founders get it wrong. They think I'm the technical one. I'll just build the product and someone else can sell it. But here's the truth. If you can't sell it, you probably don't understand it well enough yet. In the early days, sales is not about closing deals. It's about learning. You're not just trying to move product. You're trying to understand what makes people care, what objections they have, what words actually land. And only the founder can really do that, because you're the one with the vision. You're the one who can adapt the product in real time. You're the one with the credibility to say, yes, we're building that next. And here's why. I'm not saying you need to be Wolf of Wall Street, but you do need to be able to get someone to believe in you, whether that's a customer, a hire, or an investor. And I've passed on deals where the founder couldn't explain what they were selling or why anyone should care. You can't outsource belief, not in the early stage. You have to earn it, one conversation at a time. Later on, sure, bring in a killer sales team, scale it up, go wide. But in the beginning, if you can't sell, you can't learn. And if you can't learn, you won't grow. So my advice, even if you're technical, embrace the sales calls, talk to customers, pitch live, get rejected, learn. That's how you build something real.
All right, Mark. Before we wrap up this face-to-face, I've got one last question. If you were speaking directly to every early stage founder out there right now, in this market, at this moment, what's the one piece of advice you'd want them to hear?
Yeah, if you're a founder watching this right now, here's what I'd say. Don't chase funding, chase traction, get insanely close to your customer, build what they need, not what looks good in a pitch deck, ship fast, learn fast, and show momentum, even if it's scrappy. VCs don't invest in potential, we invest in progress. And if you're not sure what to do next, simplify. Focus on one problem, one solution, and one metric that proves you're on the right path. That's it. Look, if you've got a working product, some early demand, maybe even a few customers, and you're starting to feel like you're onto something, then keep going, make it real, make it undeniable, and when you're ready, good investors will take notice.
Mark, thank you. On behalf of every founder watching, whether they're building, pitching, or just trying to survive another chaotic day, your insights cut through the noise, truly. Now, if you're watching this thinking, I'm ready, I've built something real, I want to pitch my startup to Fuel Ventures. Here's what to do. Go to Fuel Ventures. There's a simple founder form right on the homepage. No gatekeeping, no fluff, just your pitch, your traction, and your ambition. Mark's team does read every single one. And before we sign off, let's talk about how this interview even happened, because it didn't. This entire video was created using FaceClip, the AI video platform that turns text into powerful, professional videos in minutes. No camera, no filming, no editing, just your script, and FaceClip does the rest. Whether you're a founder sharing product updates, recruiter personalizing outreach, creator pitching brands, job seeker sending a video resume, or just someone with something to say, FaceClip lets you say it face to face. So if you like this, go create your own. Make your voice, your story, your vision impossible to ignore. This was face to face. The interview with Mark Pearson, that never happened, but the advice 100% real. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.